Today we are joined by Professor Molly Hiro of the English department here at the University of Portland. You ready? Let's get started.
Okay.
All right. So to get us started, tell us a little about your story, kind of where you grew up and where you went to school and how you got here to the University of Portland.
Sure, happy to. Let's see, well, I grew up in Tampa, Florida, opposite end of the country from here in more ways than one.
Yes.
And I was, happy childhood there, but I think pretty soon I realized I did not really that wasn't really my place. I went to college up a little ways north in Washington, D.C. to Georgetown.
Yeah.
And I majored in English there. And I was pretty unsure what I wanted to do after graduation, so I joined the Jesuit Volunteer Corps for a year. And actually that was what got me to Portland for the first time. I had been on a family vacation out to the Pacific Northwest and I really liked it, and I was like, let's just give it a try. I'll be supported out here for a year doing work and being in part of a community. So I worked at actually Raphael House, which is still around, domestic violence shelter, as a case manager. Spent another year doing nonprofit work, and then I had to leave Portland, very sadly, to go to grad school in LA.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I kind of went kicking and screaming because LA, Portland.
Yeah.
But then I got incredibly lucky at the end of my grad program to get a job here at UP. There was an opening in my field, and here I am.
Well, aren't we lucky? Aren't we lucky for that? So, as a member of the English department, our great English department that we have here on campus, you also do something pretty cool, and that's the Public Research Fellows. Tell me a little bit about that program.
I would love to. Yeah, it's well, the first thing is I lead it, but I also co-lead it with my colleague from English, Professor Jen McDonald. And I mention that because it's totally a program that's about collaboration, which I think is one of the many ways that it debunks some of the stereotypes of the humanities. We think of humanities, we think of, grizzled old professors reading Shakespeare in the attic or something like that. So the Public Research Fellows is a public humanities project that tries to bridge the distance between the classroom and the community through humanities practices. Things like asking good questions, having dialogue, looking really closely and patiently at something, be it a text or a problem out in the world. And so that's sort of the overall mission of the program. We have a annual theme, and we support faculty-student collaborations to develop public-facing projects based on the annual theme. This year our theme is Engaging Portland, which you'll appreciate. Yes. And we have a project right now actually in the library. It's already manifested that I just wanted to talk about briefly. It's called Liberated Archives, led by a social work professor, Liz Schallert, and a team of students. They collaborated with Don't Shoot Portland, which is a local community activist organization, to create an exhibit. They dove into UP's archives and found these really interesting, cool stories about Black students at Portland from the 1960s and 70s, and is on display right now through the spring in the library. So it's one of the many exciting things we've been working on.
That's amazing. So your teaching focuses on American scholarship, African American scholarship, multi-ethnic scholarship in protest literature. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little about kind of what course are you teaching this semester, and kind of what are students reading and working on?
Sure, yeah. So let's see, I'm teaching every semester I teach a section or two of our sort of core class in the English department called Thinking Through Literature. All students have to take it.
Love it.
Used to be called Introduction to Literature, but we've changed up the name to make it a little bit more interesting. Exactly. I'm also teaching an upper division course for English majors. It's called American Literature 1, but it's basically Puritans to Mark Twain, up to 1900. So,
good stuff.
Yeah, it is. It's fun. I mean, you have to convince students about the old stuff, but we just this week read two famous slave narratives, Frederick Douglass and Harriet Jacobs, which allowed us to think about how formerly enslaved people decided to tell their stories on the page after their experiences, and also about gender in slavery. So that was great discussion. My Thinking Through Literature students let's see, they were just working on a paper using a poem to think through a larger question. That's what the title Thinking Through Literature is all about. Essentially the question being, how can literature be a tool for discovery and thinking rather than just a piece of art, an inert piece of art on the page.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to get to the lightning round, and I want to know, you like cooking and running. What's your favorite meal to cook?
Favorite meal to cook? It's not very exciting, but I'm vegetarian and I do make a lot of different soups all through the winter. So Sunday, big pot of soup, crusty bread. It's a pretty nice dinner.
Love it, love it. All right, what's your favorite spot on campus?
Favorite spot on campus? Honestly, right here in like a month.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
because the cherry blossoms. I mean, I'm usually in a hurry kind of around campus, but it makes me slow down and like really pay attention and look at the beauty there.
What's your favorite spot in Portland?
Favorite spot in Portland? Honestly, I'm kind of at my happiest in Portland these days when I'm trying to point to Forest Park. Up in Forest Park, the 31 miles of Wildwood Trail, I love to run there on Saturday mornings with my dog.
Nice. And what are you reading right now?
Right now, I just finished a book by Daniel Mason called North Woods. It's a book about one house in New England forest over like 300 years. So it ends up being totally about like the fleetingness of life and humans amidst the unchangingness of the landscape. And I just started reading Zadie Smith's The Fraud, which, and I listened to the audiobook, and it's like her and all these crazy accents, UK, like 4 different UK accents. It's really fun. Highly recommend the audiobook of that one.
That's great. So this is my favorite part of our conversation. We talk a lot about hope here on the Bluff. What brings you hope?
Okay, good question. Hope, so as a person who thinks a lot about words, I have to just start by thinking about that word a little bit, hope. I think some people are a little bit skeptical about hope because they think it's just something that you can just, get through difficult times with, right? It's almost delusional. Like things are bad, but you'll just be hopeful and optimistic and smile your way through it.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about hope as something that we actually have to build, we have to work on, we have to find through trial and error. It comes and it goes, and it's collective, I think, most of all.
Yeah.
It's based in community. So I find hope in the classroom because I think the classroom has all of those things. Classrooms across campus, not just humanities classrooms, are places, they're kind of countercultural right now. Like maybe you put your phone away, you stop with the snap judgments of social media, and you have conversations with a classroom community. You reflect on yourself, you ask a bunch of questions, you do it in a supportive space. You even get defamiliarized from values you held strong. And that sort of collective self-reflection, I think, is the basis for genuine hope.
Oh, I love that. And I want you to know you are one of the faculty, one of the many faculty that bring me hope. When I think about the future of higher education and all that we're being faced with these days, I know that amazing stuff is happening in the classroom, but it's happening in partnership and accompanying with students and faculty who really care about the world. So thank you for the work that you do.
Absolutely, thank you for the work you do.
We're here in front of our chapel, so we're done now. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you,
Hey.
it's really fun.